Canada's defense landscape is changing faster than anyone expected, and at the center of the shift is Sweden's Saab Gripen. For years, the conversation around Canada's future fighter jet revolved almost entirely around American options, but Gripen's unexpected rise has created a powerful wave of interest, one that could generate thousands of Canadian jobs and reshape the country's aerospace sector for decades. The real story is not just about fighter jets, but about local production, skilled labor, and long-term industrial growth. When Sweden proposed the Gripen E to Canada, it didn't just offer an aircraft, it offered a partnership. Unlike many defense deals where the buying country gets only the jets, Saab proposed something far more valuable: full technology transfer, local assembly, and long-term engineering work on Canadian soil. Instead of shipping jets from Europe, Saab suggested that Canada could produce Gripens domestically, creating a massive ecosystem of manufacturing, maintenance, and innovation within the country. This was the moment Canada's aerospace industry felt a spark. The Gripen offer promised new facilities, specialized training, and thousands of highly skilled jobs, from welders and machinists to software programmers, avionics engineers, and composite material specialists. The Gripen deal targeted almost every level of the industrial chain. It wasn't just about bringing work to Canada. It was about giving Canada the ability to design, modify, and upgrade its own fighter jets in the future. Even more importantly, the Gripen model encourages operational independence. Countries that operate Gripen don't need to rely on foreign maintenance depots or complicated political permissions. With local production, Canada would gain full control over sustainment, upgrades, and mission integration. This means Canadian workers, Canadian engineers, and Canadian technicians handling the entire life cycle of the aircraft. For a country that values sovereignty, this is a game-changing opportunity. Saab also emphasized collaboration with Canadian universities and research institutes, advanced aerospace programs, AI laboratories, and robotics departments would directly participate in Gripen-related development. This opens doors for Canadian students to work on real next-generation fighter technology, rather than simply studying it from afar. Such opportunities could retain Canadian talent that might otherwise leave for jobs in the US or Europe. Local companies would also gain long-term contracts worth billions. Small and medium Canadian manufacturers who produce components like wing structures, landing gear, sensors, or electronics would be integrated into the global Gripen supply chain. Once a Canadian-built part enters the international Gripen network, it becomes a steady export product for decades. This means more factories running at full capacity, more exports, and more revenue flowing back into Canadian communities. What truly stands out is how Saab framed the partnership not as a purchase, but as co-development. Canada wouldn't just operate Gripens, it would become part of the worldwide Gripen ecosystem. The idea that Canadian engineers could influence future Gripen upgrades or even future Saab aircraft marks a profound shift in how Canada participates in global defense innovation. This is why so many Canadian labor groups, industrial associations, and provincial leaders expressed interest in the Gripen proposal. The economic footprint of such a deal goes far beyond the initial aircraft contract. Over 30 or 40 years, the jobs, training programs, supply chain roles, and academic partnerships could shape the nation's industrial foundation. In an era where countries are fighting to secure high-tech employment, Saab's Gripen emerges as not just a fighter jet, but an industrial revolution waiting to happen in Canada. As the conversation around Gripen deepens in Canada, one question emerges repeatedly. Why would Saab be willing to move such a large portion of its production and technology to another country? The answer is simple: partnership. Gripen has always relied on collaboration instead of closed, restricted systems. Sweden built Gripen to be modular, maintainable, and adaptable, allowing partner nations to participate directly in its evolution. For Saab, Canada isn't just another customer. It is a gateway to expanding Gripen's global presence and strengthening long-term alliances. One of the strongest arguments for the Gripen deal is the scale of industrial benefits. Most fighter jet purchases require enormous spending. but much of that money leaves the country. Gripen flips this model by keeping the majority of the investment inside Canada's borders. Saab promised local assembly lines that could stay active long after the first batch of jets is delivered. These lines wouldn't shut down after production. They would stay open for upgrades, mid-life modernizations, repairs, and future variants. That means continuous employment for thousands of workers. Another crucial factor is supply chain independence. Traditional fighter jets like the F-35 often require foreign authorization for even minor changes, making the owning country dependent on external approval. But Gripen allows full access to software source code and mission systems. This empowers Canada to integrate its own weapons, sensors, and communication systems without needing permission from any foreign government. To support this, Saab proposed building advanced software integration centers across Canada, staffed by Canadian programmers and analysts in provinces like Ontario, British Columbia, and Quebec. The aerospace sector is already strong, but the Gripen proposal could supercharge it. New machining facilities would open to produce Gripen fuselage components. Specialized avionics labs would work on radar integration, electronic warfare testing, and flight control systems. Skilled trades like CNC operators, metal fabricators, technicians, and inspectors would find long-term, stable jobs. Unlike short-term infrastructure projects, aerospace manufacturing generates employment that can last generations. Canada's aerospace export market would also get a major boost. If Canadian companies manufacture Gripen components, those parts could be exported to every existing and future Gripen operator. This transforms Canada into a global supplier, not just a regional one. Instead of simply buying jets, Canada would build part of the world's Gripen fleet. This kind of export opportunity doesn't just benefit big corporations. It strengthens small manufacturers in local communities, ensuring economic impact across multiple provinces. Universities would play a vital role as well. Saab's partnership model includes research funding, internships, cooperative education programs, and joint development projects. Canadian aerospace students could work directly with Swedish engineers, sharing ideas and pushing the limits of modern fighter technology. Emerging fields like AI-assisted pilot systems, autonomous drones, and advanced radar technologies would become part of Canada's academic landscape. This could attract global talent and elevate Canadian engineering programs to new heights. Another major advantage is maintenance training. Instead of relying on overseas technicians, Canada could train its own Gripen specialists. Training academies would open in Canada, teaching everything from airframe repair to software diagnostics. This ensures that the country develops a deep pool of technical expertise capable of supporting the fleet independently. Such workforces become national assets, strengthening the economy while enhancing national security. The promise of 24/7 maintenance independence also appeals strongly to the Royal Canadian Air Force. In harsh Canadian climates, fleets require constant support, rapid repairs, and easy access to parts. Gripen's rugged design, low operating cost, and ease of maintenance make it particularly suitable for Canadian conditions. The jobs created to support these operations, technicians, logisticians, supervisors, parts managers, add to the thousands already projected in manufacturing and engineering. In the wider picture, Saab's offer is not just about jets, it is about building long-term industrial capability. Canada stands at a point where it can choose between buying a finished product or becoming part of its creation. Gripen brings an opportunity to build, innovate, and lead. In a world where high-tech jobs are the foundation of national strength, the Gripen proposal offers Canada a rare and powerful chance to secure its technological future. The most striking aspect of Saab's Gripen offer to Canada is how far it extends beyond a traditional defense purchase. This is a generational opportunity, one that could redefine Canada's economic landscape, strengthen its sovereignty, and place it among the world's leading centers of aerospace innovation. Unlike short-term industrial projects, the Gripen proposal builds a self-sustaining ecosystem that can thrive independently for decades. One of the most attractive features is Saab's willingness to transfer proprietary technologies, full access to software, maintenance tools, mission systems, and upgrade architecture is almost unheard of in modern fighter deals. With this level of access, Canadian engineers would gain complete control over how Gripen's capabilities evolve. New weapons, sensors, data links, or AI enhancements could be integrated locally, supporting long-term R&D jobs and opening the door to future Canadian-designed systems. This technological freedom would give Canada a strategic edge while supporting thousands of high-skilled jobs. Software programmers, systems engineers, and data specialists would become essential parts of the Gripen ecosystem. Maintenance crews would gain advanced diagnostic skills, strengthening Canada's own defense workforce. The economic ripple effect would reach far beyond aerospace and into high-tech industries nationwide. Saab also made clear that local production facilities would be designed to accommodate more than just the Canadian fleet. These factories could supply components, upgrades, and maintenance support for other Gripen operators around the world. As countries modernize their air forces, demand for parts, avionics, and software upgrades will continue for years. This provides Canada with a consistent export pipeline and long-term industrial contracts. Beyond manufacturing, the Gripen ecosystem strengthens local innovation. Research centers focused on aerodynamics, autonomous flight systems, engine efficiency, radar design, and electronic warfare could emerge across Canada. These centers would partner with universities, military institutions, and private companies to explore new technologies. In doing so, Canada would join global leaders in aerospace research, attracting investments from around the world. The Gripen package also includes job development programs that focus on Canadian youth. Apprenticeships, engineering scholarships, simulator training programs, and technical certification schools would give thousands of students clear pathways into high-paying aerospace careers. For remote or underdeveloped regions, such programs can provide long-term economic stability and opportunities that may not otherwise exist. Saab's commitment extends even further. Maintenance and operational hubs in multiple provinces. These hubs would handle upgrades, midlife extensions, structural work, and parts manufacturing technicians would train on site, allowing Canada to maintain full autonomy over the operational readiness of its fleet. Instead of depending on foreign approval or waiting months for overseas shipments, Canada would have everything needed within its borders. There is also a profound national security dimension to this proposal. True sovereignty in defense requires control over your technology, your production, and your supply chains. Gripen empowers Canada in all three areas. With local manufacturing and unrestricted access to upgrade systems, Canada gains independence, not just from foreign governments, but from future political changes that could interfere with operational needs. From an economic perspective, the long-term value of the Gripen deal could exceed the initial aircraft purchase by many multiples. With decades of work in upgrades, engineering, supply chain production, research, and logistics, the job creation impact becomes enormous. Thousands of Canadians across multiple provinces could find stable employment in a field that continues to grow globally. For workers, families, students, and local businesses, this represents continuous economic strength. Ultimately, Saab's Gripen offer to Canada is more than a fighter jet proposal. It is an invitation to join a global partnership that values innovation, independence, and long-term growth. It is a chance for Canada to not only strengthen its air force, but to transform its own industrial future. For the thousands of jobs it promises and the decades of economic stability it could bring, the Gripen proposal stands as one of the most significant industrial opportunities Canada has ever faced.